morning, everyone. February 24th, 2022. This day may not ring a bell in your head immediately, but I assure you it is important, as it is the day that Russia invaded Ukraine. According to U.S. News and World Report, hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties have happened since that day, both Russian and Ukrainian. And since that day in 2022, the U.S. has sent over $66 billion to Ukraine in foreign aid, mostly under President Biden, according to the Department of Defense. But as of a couple of weeks ago, peace talks have been initiated under President Trump. They have been including pulling troops from, a full withdrawal from troops, Ukrainian and Russian. The U.S. would stop giving funding, and there would be a full withdrawal of all weaponry that has been sent over. But as of today, nothing is official yet. So there are three sides to this issue from the American perspective. The first side is that we shouldn't be involved at all. We should stop sending money, we shouldn't send any troops, and we should prioritize us not getting any Americans killed. We don't really have a side in this, and so we should let them figure it out themselves. We would save American lives and save taxpayer dollars. According to a poll from Gallup.com, 37% of Americans think the U.S. should have no involvement at all and should withdraw completely. But that was before the peace talks had been initiated. The second perspective is that we should finish the peace talks and then withdraw. According to a Harvard poll, 54% of Americans want the U.S. to monitor peace talks, and 72% of those 54% think that the Ukraine should be involved as well. But a negative to this is that it could broker a Treaty of Versailles situation. If you don't know what that means, basically the Treaty of Versailles ended World War I, but it punished the Germans immensely and kind of caused the Second World War. Now, it would obviously be bad because 20 years from now, who's to say that doesn't happen? A third side is that we send troops over to help Ukraine. This is less realistic of an option, but it's still relatively viable. A positive to this is that it has the potential to end the war very quickly if they see our show of force as aggression and they want to back off to save their own troops. However, a negative is thousands at least of more soldiers would die, and it could possibly lead to mutually assured destruction, which would involve nuclear weapons, which obviously is terrible. So, the Department of State has brought that idea up to President Biden a couple years ago, which he obviously declined as there are no troops in Russia. But it could be brought up again under President Trump. We don't really know yet, but with the peace talks, it is seeming unlikely. To summarize, the U.S. could pull out completely, withdrawing all troops, weapons, and funding from Ukraine and let them figure it out themselves. The U.S. could broker peace talks to end the war peacefully and then withdraw all of our resources, or we could send troops over and end the war ourselves. What do you think we should do?